Hello, Nature Crazy Survivalist here. This is my second hunting video for 2017, and in this one I shoot a button buck, which is pretty much a yearling buck with really tiny antlers, and that's a big no-no, because the trophy hunters and my boss, who's a taxidermist slash hunting guide, will get mad at you for that. But it was an accident, and I couldn't tell too far away, and really good shot though. Alright, right here I am using my scope on my rifle as a spotting scope or a pair of binoculars, which I'm just looking through it, try and get a good look at the deer that you cannot see because my GoPro camera is too far away and it doesn't zoom in. It has a very wide field of view. And you don't do that. If you can afford it, get a spotting scope or a good pair of binoculars, but I can't afford that. Alright, here's the proper, I'm just holding on to the stock, which is good. I'm not even got my finger pointing. See, I got my finger and the trigger guard circled in this picture. I'm holding the stock, not my fingers nowhere near the trigger, which is good. That's good trigger safety, and especially when you're using your scope as a pair of binoculars. When it's attached to a high-powered rifle, you're not supposed to do that. But I can't afford a good pair of binoculars or a spotting scope, so I do it. Alright, here's a bunch of calves, which are really brave and bull-headed like yearling calves are, and they were acting like they were gonna charge me, but I yelled at them and they ran off, so they're a bunch of big fat weenies. And I don't like cows. I like eating deer. I don't like beef. I like venison. And up here I'm gonna use a tree as, that little tree there. And a little bit closer I'm gonna duck under the hot wire fence and try and get a little bit better look at that herd of deer up there. But I cut quite a bit out of this. You really don't want to use your scope attached to your rifle as a spotting scope. That's bad practice. Got satisfied, and I'm also trying to decide whether to go around or go through the trees, and I decided to go through the trees here. Oh, there's a bunch of hedge apples. Hedge apples have some, and then there's some catnip right there in the corner. Yeah, right there. The kind of purplish leaves. And hedge apples and catnip have some pretty interesting medicinal properties, which I'll talk about later. Another thing you don't want to do is climb over the fence with your gun. You put your gun, you lean it up against the fence post or something before you climb over, but I didn't do that. That's bad practice too. But I was pretty confident I could make it. And I did. There's a deer trail. When you're still hunting, you walk along deer trails a lot, because it's a path of least resistance, and you're most likely to see deer going along a deer trail, etc., etc. And it makes less noise, because there's usually not that many leaves on a deer trail. And I'm looking out through the trees again, trying to get another good look. And that tree right there is going to be where I actually look through. I brace myself against that branch way out there, and I take my shot, or 2 shots actually. Not this branch, I'm still just looking from back here. But yeah, they're just inching farther and farther away, and I'm kind of in a hurry to shoot one before they get out of my range zones, comfort zone, my comfortable range zone or whatever. And I'm gonna, here I call my dad, because I'm not sure. I know I can shoot something if it's on this Milo stubble up here, but I'm not completely sure if I can shoot into the wheat that's on the other side of the milo stubble, so I'm calling my dad to ask him if I can shoot into the wheat on the other side of the milo stubble. And yeah, it does. It belongs to the same people that the milo stubble and these trees belong to, so I'm safe to shoot over there. But I'd forgotten what the boundaries were, and I was calling to make sure. I only planned on hunting in those trees, still hunting, but they were all out there, so I decided to do that. And I have a scope on this gun. It's a pretty accurate gun, so I'll take a 150, 200 yard shot, which I think this is closer to 250 yards, what I end up shooting. I think, I'm not sure. But yeah, here's where I finally actually braced my gun against the tree to take the shot. And see, that is a good way. You want to hold your stock tight against whatever you're going on. If you can't use your weight to do it, you still want to be pretty sturdy. You want to move very little. You can see them barely in the screen, just little dots on the horizon right there. And I'm trying to pick which one to shoot, which one's closest, which one's standing broadside to me, and which one's big. And I miss my first shot. I shoot at a huge doe, first shot, right there. I shot at a huge doe, and you can see the dirt blow up way out there. But I have a scar in the middle of my forehead from scope eye that I got last year, and that was with this gun, so subconsciously the dang gun still scares me, and every once in a while I'll jump right as I pull the trigger subconsciously, and that makes me miss my shot. And then the second shot, I think I just took the second shot. I wasn't paying attention doing this voiceover. But anyway, the second shot I got that little buck. I shot the first one to stand that I saw that stand broadside to me and looked fairly big, was not moving, stood still and stood broadside to me. Now I'm gonna go walk out and look at it. I'm picking up my brass. That's another thing you always want to do. That's one thing I always do, is I pick up my brass. No littering in the nature. There's bad dudes litter in nature, and I'm not a bad dude. I'm a good dude. Yeah, now oh, my blood is pumping. I'm missed my first shot, and I'm angry at myself for that, missing that huge doe. And I'm gonna be a whole lot more angry when I get there and figure out it was a small buck. And oh, I was fuming at myself. But this was a perfect shot. And he was like 20, 30, I don't know, maybe 50 yards out into the wheat, so I really don't know how far away that was. Here's another one that comes running back. You can see it. And then there's a little buck I shot. But we hunt for meat, so I'm not... Any meat we get is very good. And my parents didn't lecture me about shooting a button buck, neither did the boss. He just said, I done that too. People do that. And that right there is the exit wound. The entrance wound was much smaller. It's tiny. That's a 30-06 rifle there. And yeah, I haven't noticed the little nubs. Right now, right there, I noticed the little nubs on the top of his head. Now I'm cussing myself out right now. Oh man, I was so mad at myself. And you guys can't tell, but he was, like, you can see that tree row, yeah, right there, the end of the tree row. They were at least 25, 30 yards past the end of that tree row. So I'm not sure about the distance. They're probably 250 yards off. Because they didn't hear me when I was walking through those trees. And yeah. Now I called my dad. I'm talking to my dad right now. Talking to him and telling him I've got a buck and I'm fuming, and he's trying to calm me down because I was so mad at myself. And he offers to come help me load the thing and field dress it, but I just pick it up. I go back and get my pickup, and I just pick the thing up. It was small enough, and I throw it on the back of my pickup. And then I go field dress it at our house we're renovating, because we don't live there. We just leave the guts out there for the coyotes and skunk, possum, just a wildlife. Yeah, here I go. I guess not yet. In a minute, I'm gonna go walk back out to the pickup.
Alright. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm walking to the pickup. Yeah. I was so mad at myself for that. Well, goodbye, guys. End the video.